I talked about how the ISIL death cult, the three ways that the ISIL death cult could be taken down, how the Japanese one was, how the German one was. And there's others around the world, Boko Haram in Nigeria, for example, is a great example. But then I mentioned Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. And broadly speaking, the death cult that exists within the Republican Party, where they with a wink and a nod, sanction the murder of abortion doctors, or at least the harassment of folks to that point, where they're gung-ho for the death penalty, where they're all in favor of prisons being brutal places and people being in longer and longer and longer. Yeah, son, you're going to lock you up and you're going to get raped, and isn't that cool? You see this in cop shows and things. This whole there is a death cult within the Republican Party. This whole and typically, not even typically, if you look at all of these death cults, they all came out of conservative movements. So what's going to be the thing that wakes people up from the Trump-Cruz death cult? I think it's going to be an economic crash. I think it's what woke people up in the United States back in 1929. Now, that wasn't so much a death cult as it was kind of an orgy of money. Herbert Hoover, before him, Calvin Coolidge, before him, Warren Harding, starting in 1921. Warren Harding dropped the top tax rate from 91% down to 25% and deregulated the banks. And the banksters started gambling like there was no tomorrow. And we had this incredible explosion in the stock market. And this incredible bubble, which is not unlike today's bubble. And, you can read about this in my book, The Crash of 2016, but it's there. And when our economic bubble burst in 1929, people woke up. They woke up from, in this case, it wasn't a death cult, it was a greed cult. And the Republican Party is like, full bore on with this greed cult. Yeah, the rich get richer. Yeah, the poor, screw the poor. We'll even take away their food stamps, to hell with them. And so my guess is that what's going to wake up people from the death cult or the money cult or the whatever you want to call it cult of the far right Republican Party is the coming crash of 2016, is an economic disaster which is going to be so bad that nobody can deny it and nobody can try to blame it on Democrats. Although they will absolutely do their best. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.